Namo Buddhaya. Greetings on Buddha Purnima. At one time, the Buddha was staying in Shravasti in Jade's Grove, Anath Pindika's monastery. Then, several old and well-to-do Brahmins of Koshala, elderly and senior, who were advanced in years and had reached the final stage of life, went up to the Buddha and exchanged greetings with him. When the greetings and polite conversation were over, they sat down to one side and said to the Buddha, "Master Gautama, are the traditions of the Brahmins exhibited these days among Brahmins?" "No, Brahmins, they are not," said the Buddha. "If you wouldn't mind, Master, please teach us the ancient traditions of the Brahmins." The Buddha said this: "The ancient hermits used to be restrained and austere. Having given up the 5 sensual titillations, they lived for their own true good. Brahmins used to own no cattle nor gold or grain. Chanting was their wealth and grain, which they guarded as a gift from God. Food was prepared for them and left beside their doors. People believed that food prepared in faith should be given to them. With colorful clothes and bedding, prosperous nations and countries honored those Brahmins. Brahmins used to be inviolable and invincible, protected by principle. No one ever turned them away from the doors of families. The Brahmins of old pursued their quest for knowledge and conduct. Brahmins never transgressed with another, nor did they purchase a wife. They lived together in love, joining together by mutual consent. They praised celibacy and morality, integrity, fervor, gentleness, and harmlessness. They begged for rice, bedding, clothes, ghee, and oil. Having collected them legitimately, they arranged a sacrifice. But they slew no cows while serving at the sacrifice. Like a mother, father, brother, or other relative, cows are our best friends, the fonts of medicine. They give food and health and beauty and happiness. Knowing these benefits, they slew no cows. The Brahmins were delicate and tall, beautiful and glorious. They were keen on all the duties required by their own traditions. So as long as they continued in the world, people flourished happily. But perversion crept into them little by little when they saw the splendor of the king and the ladies in all their finery. Their chariots were harnessed with thoroughbreds, well made with bright canopies, and their homes and houses were neatly laid out in measured rows. They were lavished with herds of cattle and furnished with bevies of lovely ladies. This extravagant human wealth was coveted by the Brahmins. They compiled hymns to that end, approached King Okaka and said, "You have plenty of wealth and grain, sacrifice. For you have much treasure, sacrifice. For you have much wealth." Persuaded by the Brahmins, the king, chief of charioteers, performed horse sacrifice, human sacrifice, and many other sacrifices. When he had carried out these sacrifices, he gave riches to the Brahmins. There were cattle, bedding, and clothing, and their ladies in their finery, chariots harnessed with thoroughbreds, well-made bright canopies, lovely homes, all neatly laid out in measured rows. Having furnished them with different grains, he gave riches to the Brahmins. When they got hold of that wealth, they arranged to store it. Falling under the sway of desire, their craving grew and grew. They compiled hymns to that end, approached King Okaka once more, and said, "Like water, earth, gold, riches, and grain are cows for humankind, as they are essential for creatures. Sacrifice, for you have much treasure. Sacrifice, for you have much wealth." Persuaded by the Brahmins, the king, chief of charioteers, had many 100,000 cows slain at the sacrifice. Neither with feet nor with horns do cows harm anyone at all. Cows, meek as lambs, supply buckets of milk, but taking them by the horns, the king slew them with a sword. At that, the gods and the ancestors, with Indra, the titans and monsters, roared out, "This is a crime against nature," as the sword fell on the cows. There used to be 3 kinds of illnesses: greed, starvation, and old age. But due to the slaughter of cows, this grew to be 98. This unnatural violence has been passed down as an ancient custom. Killing innocent creatures, the sacrificers forsake righteousness. This mean old practice was criticized by sensible people. Wherever they see such a thing, they criticized the sacrificer. Aristocrats and Brahma's kinsmen and others protected by their clan, neglecting their genealogy, fell under the sway of sensual pleasures.